Let me ask you a question. What do you think the odds are of a sea turtle in the ocean getting a plastic straw stuck up its nose? The odds are actually quite low, and we're going to tell you how. Hey everybody, welcome back to Ocean News by Speak Up for Blue TV. This is where we kind of cover all the news that's happening around the ocean and give you tips and tricks on how to live for a better ocean. Today's story is an older one that happened earlier in 2015 in August and again in November. Two Olive Ridley sea turtles were discovered to have plastic objects stuck up their nose. One was a plastic straw and the other was a plastic fork. It was discovered by researcher Dr. Nathan Robinson, who's a friend of Speak Up for Blues and has been on the Speak Up for Blue podcast, linked down below, a couple of times to tell us the stories of how these plastic straws, and one was a plastic fork, got stuck up the nose. Nathan has a hypothesis of how it actually got stuck up the nose. Olive Ridley sea turtles are omnivorous, meaning they eat both vegetables and they eat meat. Because they eat both meat and vegetables, they will graze on seagrass, they will graze on algae just like other turtles do, but they also eat shrimp, crabs, and little animals like that. What happens is Olive Ridley turtles get into the water column, they see an object that looks like a shrimp. They will go towards that object and check it out and probably take a bite out of it. If it's a shrimp, great. They get a nice nutritious meal and they have a great day. However, if it's not, it could be plastic straw that's kind of shaped like a shrimp. And because their eyesight's not that great, and especially in the sea it gets kind of distorted, they eat that plastic straw, try to swallow it, realize it's not a shrimp, try and cough it back up. When they cough it back up, because of the rigidity, you see, this is like the nasal cavity. This is the mouth, and this is the nasal cavity right here of the turtle. The straw goes in. When it tries to come out, because it's so rigid, it just goes back up into the nasal cavity. Gets stuck up there. They keep coughing up to try and get it out. Now, of course, they don't have hands to go into their mouth and take it out. So all they have to do, all they can do is just cough it up until it gets stuck in their nose. Now just imagine if you're a researcher living your dream, being out on a ship, and you're doing sea turtle research. You come across this Olive Ridley turtle and you're like, this is awesome. That we're going to tag this sucker. We're going to take measurements and everything like that. And then you see something protruding out its nose. You try and pull it out. You're thinking it's a tube worm or something else, and it's actually a plastic straw. Now, I'm going to link to a video of the removal of the plastic straw from the first animal that Dr. Nathan Robinson saw. It is a very graphic video. I'm going to warn you right now, there's a lot of blood. It's not fun to watch the sea turtle kind of struggle as Nathan is trying to take out the straw. Now Nathan's doing his best not to hurt the turtle, and you can tell from the video that he feels bad. So if you want to watch the video, go ahead, just click the link below. It's quite telling. Hopefully if you watch it after, you realize that, hey, I don't need to use plastic straws. I don't even need to use straws in general. One solution is if you do want straws, if you do want to use straws, you can go to simplystraws.com. It's a great company that is not a sponsor of us right now, so I don't get any money for suggesting this, but it's a great company that makes glass straws. You can reuse them. They even come with a little pipe cleaner that actually cleans it out, and they're fantastic. So the link to that store is down below. Now really the biggest thing though, because you don't see glass straws all the time, is really reuse plastic water bottles. Don't use straws in restaurants. It's become part of our culture, and we really have to reduce the amount we use it because straws are not necessary. If you go to a restaurant and you're not comfortable sipping out of the glass because you think it's dirty, you shouldn't be sipping out of it at all, and you shouldn't be going to that restaurant. Usually, there's regulations in place where restaurants have to keep their cutlery and their glassware clean. So go to a restaurant that does that, and you don't need a straw. Ask for no straw when you go to a restaurant because you don't need it, and it just gets thrown out. It ends up in the ocean, and it'll end up in a poor Olive Ridley sea turtle. So that's our show for today. Sorry it's a little depressing, but this is what's happening out in the ocean, and this is the only way to really get it, is to put videos like this on YouTube and do podcasts like we've done before, just to get the word out and let people know that this is actually happening. And the odds of it happening are greater than we thought, because another sea turtle actually got a plastic fork stuck up in its nose 4 months later. Same researcher got it. Dr. Nathan Robinson pulled it out of its nose, and the same thing happened. So people, don't use plastic forks, don't use plastic straws, use reusable materials, and just avoid using any kind of plastic utensils at all. And that is our show for today. So thank you very much. If you want to hear more about the ocean conservation issues, just click subscribe down below, and you'll get all our videos to your inbox, or be aware of the videos when they come out. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Andrew Lewin. Happy conservation.